This is Peter from MNN. It is Sunday night, 11 p.m. That's right. That's the time I set it for. Okay, I'm not going to go all too long today. I just did want to introduce what has been kind of going on in my mind, in my heart, in my stress for the past few weeks. And this is Peter from MNN. It is Sunday night, 11 p.m. That's right. That's the time I set it for. Okay, I'm not going to go all. Shoot. Is this. Okay, can you hear me now? There was a slight technical difficulty, but if you can hear me, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just rambling to myself. Comment, say something in the chat if you can or can't hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. It'd be a shame if this didn't go right. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know if things are going okay because no one's commenting unless it is working. And okay, let's just see what I can do. Okay, great. That's great to hear. If you did see the thumbnail for this live stream, it is Dimrays in Seoul. That is correct. That is not a typo. It is the metalcore band from Osaka that so many people have come to love. What's going on? Dimrays. They will be performing in Seoul in a little place. Little, yeah, it's little, but it's quite thriving. And what's going on, man? Hello, hello. Yeah. So they'll be performing at a venue in Hongdae called AOR, All of Rock. If you were able to sort of trace and follow the little breadcrumbs and clues, last week I played some Korean metalcore. So it will be Dimrays and it will be a couple of Korean bands. The details are still sort of being sorted out. So what I can tell you is that it will be happening May 5th, Tuesday. That is Children's Day. That is Golden Week. Yeah, so that is what is going to happen. Now, first of all, how did this even come about? I had been wanting to try to get something going with MNN or Hato, helping artists touch overseas. That kind of hasn't really been promoted all too much recently, but it is still there. And so this show will be under Hato collaboration MNN, although it's really just sort of all under Hato. And it had been in my brain for quite a while, wanting to help some bands play somewhere. My initial thoughts of America were completely just shot because of all the visa stuff. It was kind of made this big thing last year, and so trying to figure out where. And Korea seemed like a pretty decent place. I used to live there. I am Korean, and I know that quite a few bands have been performing in Korea, even just last year. As mentioned by Michael, Saiseiga did perform there. The power metal band Paradox performed there. A band that I've come to love, Haku, actually performed there a couple of times. East of Eden performed there. My goodness. Nemophila performed there last year. I feel like I'm missing at least one or two, but quite a few. Hades was a band that I had spoken to about that, but they were not able to. So that was all kind of just put aside. Now, as to how it came about with Dimrays, like I've loved Dimrays. I don't want to say like from the very get-go. I mean, once I saw them live, I thought, okay, they definitely have something special. And as I moved here, strangely, I don't, even though they're an Osaka band and I used to live very close to Osaka, I only saw them once there. And every other time, which is now, I don't know, I want to say at least 15 times maybe I've seen them in the past year and a half, 2 years, 2 years, maybe more. But yeah, so anyway, so I saw them perform last year in October. It was actually one of, if not the first show, I think it was the second show I went back to um, for after my surgery, and that was in October. And after they performed, I was out there talking with the support guitarist, composer Maki. And as we were talking, there was definitely like, oh, so you like K-pop, and oh, that'd be cool. Would you actually want to perform there? Like, what do you think about that? And yeah, it just seemed like something that he definitely wanted. And I thought, okay, well, I'll talk to the girls and see if they want to do that too. So I spoke to them, and they were like, yeah, that'd be awesome if we could do that. So I said, I'll see what I can do. It has been in works, and it is still in the works. It is quite a lot of works, but it is all being sorted out. But the date is set. Once again, it is May 5th. It is a Tuesday. It is during Golden Week. One of the unfortunate things, though, is that because it is Golden Week and there's quite a bit of flights going back and forth between Korea and Japan during that time because there's a vacation time. It's Children's Day in Japan, but also Children's Day in Korea. The cost of flights is like two and a half, even three times as much as normal, which is really unfortunate. Um, just take care of that. So yeah, but that is what is happening. If you can see it, but I know it's flipped around, so I'll tell you once again. They will be performing in Seoul in an area called Hongdae. It's a really thriving community of music artists. I lived pretty close to the first couple of years I lived there. I used to visit there quite a bit to go shopping. But the venue is called AOR, All of Rock. It is in Korea, and it will be, yeah, again, May 5th. And there will be guests. As to the names and details, I will fill you in when everything is completely sorted out. I don't want to kind of jump the gun, but please mark your calendars. If you can go, that would be great. I would imagine that a lot of you can't, which is unfortunate. I'm doing all right, Mark. Thank you very much. I'm doing all right. I actually went to the hospital a couple days ago, and he said, "See me in 6 months, and we'll see how your foot is." But no, yeah, no issues right now. Um, yeah, so the difficult thing with this, and I would imagine for just again any band going anywhere overseas, is just the expenses with the travel, with the lodging, with the venue, at least for me. And so I will actually be helping to fund this trip on my own, but I am also going to be asking you guys, for those of you who are big fans of Dimrays, I would love for you guys to be a part of this event, even though you cannot be there in person, and to help support a band that you love very much. And I do think that this kind of event will be a stepping stone and opportunity for Dimrays to continue to perform overseas in places that maybe they haven't. Well, they haven't, but that they may want to or be able to in the future. Once this kind of door gets opened up, as long as there's enough push and enough word kind of gets around, then who knows, right? I think sort of you drop a pebble into the pond and it creates ripples, and so that's something that I'm hoping for Dimrays. And so yeah, I'm very excited. I will be going myself. Um, it will be Akane, it will be Naho, it will be Maki, and it will be Kano on drums. So the usual four, will be going. And as I mentioned, because of the cost, I will be looking to you guys to help out. it would be just great if you could help support in any way that you possibly can. I will be starting a GoFundMe, and I will be putting the link at various places. If you guys trust me enough, I hope you do. And for those of you, hey, what's going on, Scene? And for those of you who have interacted with me personally in terms of me sending merch to you, I know it's late. I really apologize. It's just tough. But if you do trust me enough, then it would be cool if you could send it to my PayPal directly. Um, that way, there's no fees taken out the way that GoFundMe and other places are. So, yeah, that is what is happening. It's something that has been kind of rummaging through my head as far as helping a band play overseas for quite a while. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Um, and with Dimrays, it's been going on now for the past 4 or 5 months. And it's kind of, yeah, really getting down to it. So, any questions, guys, about this show? Any questions about at least things that I may be able to answer? I don't know if I can answer everything that you guys ask. But if there are any thoughts, questions regarding this event, Dimrays will be headlining, and the other bands will be Korean, and they'll be supporting them as guests. So, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for everything. Okay, yeah, that'll be awesome. And I will try to see what's possible in terms of giving back. One thing that I do have, my PayPal info, it's, I'll put it in the comment. And if you actually also, not in the chat, but if you make a comment on this video, then I will post it. But I'll put my email and I'll pin it as well. So if you can do maybe both, just to sort of like have a sort of redundancy. But thank you so much. Yeah, and again, I'll see what I can do in terms of helping to give back for those who do help support and donate. I do have a lot of photos, and maybe there's something that can be done with that. Also with just maybe videos that can be sent to you guys. Again, these are all just sort of thoughts. There's nothing finalized. I haven't talked to the girls about that yet. So these are just ideas. But if you guys have any ideas as well, please let me know. But yeah, thank you. I'm kind of going into this sort of blindly while working my ass off, but with a lot of faith a lot of faith in the fans. For all of you guys who do follow MNN, but elsewhere as well, I just really believe. Definitely a photo book is somewhere in my future. But I really have faith in the fans of Japanese music. You guys have done such amazing things. I've seen it personally. I've experienced it firsthand myself, just recently with my surgery. I mean, you guys are really always going just way over and beyond. And I know that if people will go out of their way to help and support me, then of course they would do so for a band they love. So, yeah, but I appreciate that. But yeah, I did see them. What is it? Today is Sunday. I saw them yesterday. Yeah, I saw them yesterday. Gosh, the day goes by so fast. I saw them yesterday at Shibuya Cyclone. There was a festival called Keep On Rolling Festival, KORF Festival. Dimrays performs. There are a few others. It was sponsored by two bands, Good Grief, and then yeah, thanks Gerald, and then Good Grief, and then View on the Soyuz. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, and I wasn't able to stick around to hear what the actual pronunciation was. But the only bands I saw were Dimrays, because I did have to talk to them about stuff. Launcher number 8, and then there was a band after Dimrays. I forget what their name was. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Very melodic. So, but good time. I did see Gerald, Mr. Eggman, and then I also saw Eric Ifune, who always seems to be running late and misses the live streams. But yeah, if you guys can make it out, if you are coming over to Japan during Golden Week for Bandmade, because May 10th is the day of Made. If you guys are coming for that, if you guys would be willing to fly on over, stop by Seoul on the 5th, and then come back to Japan, or just to Korea and then to Japan to help support, that would be amazing. That would be amazing, amazing. But I know that is such a huge ask, request. But if it's possible, that'd be awesome. It would be really cool to see some of you guys in Korea um, at the show. But if not, again, just you guys supporting and encouraging whatever way possible is just awesome. So thank you so much. Um, yeah, just I've mentioned before, but Dimrays is an amazingly popular band in the Tokyo circuit. Like, even though they're from Osaka, they play like 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 times more in Tokyo. And I really don't know why they haven't moved here yet. But I guess even though they perform here that much, I guess the cost of moving, or they just like Osaka more, which is understandable. I had a friend come by recently and said, yeah, Tokyo's not for me. So, um, yeah, I know it's tough, man. This is something that I really hope will, again, lead to more stuff, opportunities for Dimrays, opportunities for MNN, for Hato. Um, you know, I do probably need a break after this. I will need one after this, but it's definitely been a learning experience. It's definitely been uh, eye-opening, and there's just quite a bit involved. The vocalist voice, Akane? Which vocalist are we talking about? Sorry. Um, yeah, I do wish I could show you some footage, but it's all on my phone, which is what I'm using right now. Yeah, her voice is okay. She did awesome last night. No issues. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Um, I don't know what to say. Like, one of the things that I've mentioned is I love it when Japanese bands do go to Korea. And being Korean and American, having lived in Korea, well, having lived in America, having lived in Korea, and now living in Japan, and the idea of, kind of breaking barriers, building bridges, um, really just, just offering some good stuff to each other is just what I really, really appreciate, and something that I think I strive for. So the opportunity to have a band as awesome as Dimrays perform in Korea, and to have Korea get to experience Dimrays, I think that'd be really, really cool. And I hope they gain a lot more fans. Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate it, Chris. I'm sure they'll appreciate it too. And of course, they do know you. Definitely Naho knows you. So yeah. Okay, but other than that, if there aren't any questions, I'm gonna roll on just a little bit. So I've been taking it fairly easy, but this coming week is gonna actually be pretty packed, because starting from next Sunday, which is the Frail, who is it? Dizzy Reverse, Undying Words, a couple of other bands performing at Antinoch on Sunday. That's the 8th. And then that following 11th, that's on a Wednesday, that's when Bandmate will be performing at Shibuya Line Cube. And I just saw today, I didn't apply, but I just saw today that Neki will actually be doing a really short performance, a free live, and then a sign meeting session across the street at Shibuya Eggman. So it's already sold out from what I saw before I started this video. So unfortunately, for those of you who didn't get the message, yeah. Um, Also, that Saturday, so the 8th is Anti-Knock. Wednesday, the 11th, is Shibuya Line Cube. Saturday will be Mixed Hell. Mixed Hell will have MNU. It'll have Zilke. Um, God, there are a couple other bands. Otoboke Beaver. And I feel like I'm missing another one that I really want to see, but that'll be really interesting. Oh, by the way, I actually did see Anna, the singer of Zilke, yesterday at the show. She was there to talk to Kano because Kano is part of Zilke, and then Maki, who helped produce the album, a couple of the songs. So yeah, so she was there along with their manager, and it was cool just talking with her. I just said, "Hey, I know you. I went to your first show. I was there at your first Instagram live," and she's really cool, just really chill. Um, yeah, it'll be really cool to see them. They're performing Golden Week as well, and that's actually going to be the day before I head out with Dimrays to Korea. So they'll be performing on the 3rd at WWW, which is the venue where some of us saw Bright Ear last year. Um, and then after that, the following day, we'll be heading out to Korea, and then the following day will be the show. Oh, and then the following day, which is going to be a really interesting show, just for me, just thinking about it. So it'll be the 15th. That'll be Sunday at Thundersnake, and that's where Sally will have her session with Yukina Impact, Uyu from Mono Diagram Disney Reverse, uh, and then Vivi, who is the drummer for Hadichi, formerly known as Shoujo S. So that's gonna be kind of a really interesting mixture. And they did post a video on X if you guys haven't seen it, kind of promoting the show. And then, as well as them, Whiskey Dust will be performing, and then Charji or Chaji or however you pronounce that, Wild Drummer. So next week will be very busy. It's gonna be really, really fun, really, really interesting. Um, yeah. And then there are other shows, but we'll just leave it at that. Okay. Any last questions or comments regarding Dimrays, what's happening, or just upcoming shows? If not, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. And what other bands would you like to see perform? Maybe in Korea. Like once I make this connection, it might be easier along the way. Comment below, because I'm gonna head on out since there's no more questions or comments at the moment. But yeah, just a quick brief. Oh, by the way, oh my gosh, totally forgot. It's been so hectic this week. Bandmate did drop their world tour announcement. It was kind of interesting that they just did it on social media, not prior to the show in February. So I'm not sure why. Okay, yeah, doll parts, that's cool. I'm not sure why they did it that way, why they didn't wait. Maybe they felt like they needed to kind of like rush things along, get tickets going. But yeah, I mentioned this on Bandmate Fans Cafe on Facebook, but it's fairly standard before before COVID. So intermixed with a few Japanese shows here and there. Well, actually, before there were quite a few Japanese shows, but in between that, you would have like a summer tour in Europe, and then you would have a fall tour in the States. They did that a couple of times. And so I think that's what's going to be going on. Any thoughts for the coming? I don't have any thoughts. I mean, I don't even think I can make it out this time. Um, just because I've had to take days off for my foot and then having going to visit the clinic, I just don't think I'll be able to have days set aside the way that I did last time. Because I think I took like a whole week off, which I had. Um, but yeah, I mean the poster does just say October, and it says North America and Mexico. Um, thanks, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, Mexico. Mexico will definitely be. It's almost like a given. It'll be with the warning, right? That's definitely. I feel like that's like a given at this point. As to how many shows, this time around, maybe two, because they did one last time as well in Mexico before they came back. Um, from the States. That was what 2023. Yeah. So, but again, like as to how many shows, I don't think they're gonna go quite as hard as they did. Well, they won't. I think they can't in 2022. 2023. I might have my years wrong. Like it just time just is meaningless to me now. But yeah, 2023. I don't even remember how many shows they did in the state at that time. It's um so yeah, to answer your question, I don't know. But I know that people are really excited. I do feel bad. Honestly, I expected them to throw in South America at least a couple of shows, maybe Brazil, at least. But, I guess costs, and then it would be awesome if they could hit up Australia, like since day one, I've known people, and Mike is here right now, but I've known people just online from Australia who's just been like, come to Australia, come to Australia. And I really want that. Even if I wouldn't be able to see them, I just want more people to experience them. Even with their Asia tour, which is at this point a festival in Taiwan, there's Hong Kong, and then what am I missing? I feel like there's something. Ah, man, sorry guys, I've just been just all over the place. It'd be cool because I know there's actually a Korean comment saying, "Will you come to Korea?" And it'd be awesome. I don't know how many fans there are in Korea. I mean, there's Band Aid, right? So there's some. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate. I do wish Bandmade and Made It, their management, would just push a little bit more, like not go quite to the same places. Um, yeah, yeah, I know. What's up, SJ? Miss you, bro. Um, yeah. Let me, let's see what we got here. Just talking Bandmade. Yeah, only Hong Kong. I thought there was another one, but yeah, only Hong Kong, which is I don't know, it's kind of sad. Like it'd be I just want more people to experience great music and great bands. So yeah. And then Japan right now, there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and then Budokan finally, right? Two back-to-back shows. Um, but I know, if I recall correctly, I think there will be more shows announced along the way. So this is definitely not the finished product. There's more coming up. As to when they'll announce it, you know, after some certain show. Um, and I'm sure they're all getting it figured out as well. So, but yeah, I'm curious. I know SJ told me yesterday, but how many of you actually are planning to come for Budokan? At least one of the shows. I can only make it to one, which is the Saturday, which is also my sister's birthday. Um, but Friday, I don't believe it's a holiday, so I think I'll be missing out on the first night. And I know there was a question as to whether it'll be the same set list. Bandmate being bandmate, no. Um, but they're not quite as spry or like, as you get older, you kind of like need a little bit more space, just a little bit more room. And so I would imagine it won't be like a huge departure from the first night. Um, but there will be different songs, and maybe some of it rearranged, which they've done before. So, but yeah, I guess that is the other big news, which people are really excited about. Obviously, Europe has not had Bandmate for what, 6 years? Last time was 2019. Um, it could have been your first one, Budokan. They announced Budokan. Their first Budokan was announced in 2020, right? This was after the second night at was it after the second night? Yeah, after the second night of Shibuya Line Cube. They had the back to back, and that's where the DVD, the Blu-ray came from. The first one at Line Cube, and that was the Conqueror tour, and they played all of Conqueror, which is great. It was awesome. But yeah, it was so exciting, and then seeing the footage of the girls getting excited about that afterwards, and then it's really interesting though because I don't want to make this video go too much longer than it needs to, but that kind of like set off a motion of events because the girls couldn't play. They were sad. We were sad. They were wondering how we were doing. They wrote about us. I was so moved. I had this little pet project of putting all these people's names and making this graphic and then presenting it to the maids on their, was it day of? No, on the Budokan day, so February 11th, 2021. And then them mentioning it, and then that's how I got to talk to Herman Lee and work with him for a bit. And like all this kind of stuff, like really cool things happen because of all of that stuff. But in the end, you really just kind of wish the girls had their chance. And finally, after 5 years, or it's really going to be closer to 6 because it's later in the year, they finally have their Budokan revenge, and doubly so because they're having 2 nights in a row. So that's really cool. I'm not quite sure how they'll feel about it. I'm sure for all of us, I still have like t-shirts for Budokan. I still have like flyers for Budokan from that night. They were passing out. There's all this little stuff. Yeah, Gangire, So what's actually really funny is I saw Gangire last weekend because they performed really close to where I live. And after the show, after their stage, because there were still bands playing, we were outside and there's a fried chicken place. So we're sitting down. It was me, it was a couple of Gangire's photographer friends, Mizuki and Saskia, who's from Germany, and then this other girl who's friends with Saskia, along with Matsu, the guitarist, composer, leader of Gangire, and then a couple of his other Japanese friends. But I wanted to, and so I actually did ask. I was like, would you want to play in Korea? And he was like, no. I'm not sure what the reason was. His friend Saskia from Germany was like, I would love to go to Korea. But he didn't seem too thrilled. So because of that, I just, yeah, I know. So I don't know. Most likely another band before Gangire. Unless his mind has changed. I'm not gonna force any band to play somewhere that they don't want to. But when the opportunity arises, maybe I will be able to help another band. And I still have the opportunity to kind of produce a show here in Japan, in Tokyo. Um, and it'll definitely require a lot less work than trying to get a show going for a Japanese band in Korea. But again, it's been an experience kind of going through that whole process. It's been pretty fun. And yeah, there'll definitely be some stories to share. Um, maybe before, definitely at, and then afterwards as well. So, all right, guys. I think I will leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for joining me today to discuss Dimrays in Seoul in Korea. I do hope you are able to. Um, I mean, I would love it if you could be there, but I know realistically it's tough, especially for those of you coming to Japan earlier or later. Um, but if nothing else, just to encourage them, support them, and I will reach out to you guys and along the way. Again, for those of you who do know my PayPal and you do trust me, I hope you do. I hope I've earned that. That you guys can go ahead and reach out to me via PayPal. If not, I will start a GoFundMe and then try to make it so that you guys can get something back for those who do contribute. So, yeah, but thank you so much. And you will be hearing quite a bit more in the next few months before we go. So, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for much encouraging. Your support is always just received with so much gratitude. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and you're not too cold where you are. My nose is all stuffed up and just so much snot, man. It's crazy. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it so much. Go ahead again. Make comments if you need to. I will put my email for you, Mark, and for anyone else who wants it for my PayPal. Otherwise, you guys can wait for the GoFundMe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much for joining tonight, and I will see you on the other side. Bye.